And if you really want to understand how people work, why some people snake you, why some people seem like they're going to fall through with something and they never do, why girls cheat on you, why everything doesn't make sense, stop looking at what. Bro, am I on a roll today? So let's talk about how people work. Have you ever watched a interview with a drug addict or somebody that is really compulsive about something that destroys their life, but in the interview they seem very nonchalant when they're talking about their destructive habit that's going to kill them and destroy their life and all their relationships and everything? Or have you ever been with a girl that has very deep daddy issues and she's like a complete slut, but at the same time she talks about all the psychological terms that supposedly apply to her and how everything works, and she's such a know-it-all from afar, but up close her life is a mess? Or have you ever talked to a guy that always says, "Yeah, bro, I understand the system, it's fucking you over, and the 9 to 5s and the rich people, blah, blah, blah." But at the end of the day, he just smokes weed and never tries to change things? Well, all these people have one thing in common that completely explains human nature and is going to help you stop being an autist that doesn't understand what is happening. All these people, they have the logical part of their brains, but they also have emotions. And at the end of the day, emotions are what drive people. Back in the day, before humans evolved even a language, we only had emotions. We saw a face and we felt, for example, that he's a friend or a foe. And we attacked or like hugged and shared resources or whatever. You get the point. Emotions were there a long time before the logic was there. And the logic is a nice tool because it can find you a solution to a problem. But doing the actions that are going to get you the solution, that's a different part. That is completely how you feel. So, for example, you might know that if you go to sleep early and you wake up early and you do that over time and you build a routine, you're going to have more testosterone because you sleep better, you're more likely to stick on your diet and work on your side hustle, etc. But you're not doing that. How can you explain that? Well, when the first alarm goes off in the morning and you have to break that cycle of sleeping late and waking up late, you just don't feel like waking up and you just don't wake up. The exact same thing holds true with other people. They have logic, and with logic, they deduce that they have to do X, Y, Z or treat you in a certain way or whatever they believe they should do. But what they do is very different. For example, a lot of girls will say the most important thing about a guy is that he does not cheat. And I know plenty of girls like that because I'm in plenty of relationships with girls like that concurrently. And they all say that loyalty is the number one thing they look into a guy. Bull fucking shit. Number one thing they look in a guy is that he's like fucking straight up G and that he provides fun and security. Not security in the sense of having money necessarily, but security in a vibe. Like when they are around him, they feel safe. I'm not going to go deeper into that. Watch why nice guys don't finish ever. It's a different explanation than the usual one. It's a different video of mine. The point is that the girls, they say with logic that the most important thing is loyalty, and then I cheat on them a ton, and they know about it, and they like look the other way. Like I will literally tell my girl, "Oh, these condoms, these are for my cousin," and I will say it with a smile on my face, and she will like go a big back and forth, but she doesn't care. She knows I cheat. She doesn't care. The other girl, the same thing. The other girl, the same thing. And if they talk to somebody on the street, if somebody interviews them on the street, they're going to say, "Yeah, loyalty is so important. I would never be with a guy that's not loyal." And then they will go and be with me. How do you explain that? How do you explain reality if you don't understand that people do the things they do because of emotions and say the things they say because of logic? It's two different worlds. It's two it's two different worlds. And in one world, it all makes perfect sense if you are a noticed because words are very cut and dry, very zero and one. They make sense. They are logical. But actions that are based on emotions don't make any sense to somebody that is like autistic. And if you really want to understand how people work, why some people snake you, why some people seem like they're going to fall through with something and they never do, why girls cheat on you, why everything doesn't make sense, stop looking at what people say because they say what idealistically sounds good to them with logic, and start watching what they do. And you will soon figure out that people are very consistent in what they do. It just does not fit what they say. So by watching what people do instead of hearing what they say, the world is it's like you read the book in French and then it doesn't make sense. Then you learn French and it's a book. Like it went from being a bunch of jumbled up characters to an actual book with an actual meaning and a continuity, everything. Like people are not that unpredictable. When you start to see patterns and recognize how those patterns work by observing behavior rather than speech, everything starts to make sense. At this point, I'm rarely surprised. I used to be a guy that was not just surprised, I was dazzled. Nothing made sense to me. What people said, what people do, all the little random things throughout the day, how the cashier talked to me, nothing made sense. I could not figure it out for the life of me. And right now, I can just see a guy for 10 seconds and I know like the 10 next sentences he's going to say. I know the 10 next things he's going to do. Why? Because I have built a theory of mind by watching people act rather than talk. Good luck.